There's a certain kind of magic that unfolds on a Sunday evening, isn't there? As the weekend winds down, countless of us have settled onto our sofas, cup of tea in hand, and tuned into a show that feels like a warm, familiar hug. Antiques Roadshow. It's more than just a program about dusty old objects, it's a vessel for our collective dreams. It whispers a tantalizing question into the quiet of our living rooms. What if that forgotten painting in the attic, that inherited jewelry box, or that quirky charity shop find was actually a fortune? For decades, we've been invited on this emotional roller coaster. We've shared the gentle letdown of hopeful guests, learning their cherished heirloom holds far more sentimental than monetary value. We've felt the quiet disappointment in their eyes, quickly replaced by a smile, because the story behind the object was always the real treasure. But then there are the other moments, the moments that make you lean forward, that make your heart beat a little faster. The moments where a dusty find, pulled from a loft or the back of a cupboard, is revealed to be worth thousands, sparking tears of disbelief and joy. For a very, very fortunate few, a visit to the long-standing program becomes something else entirely. It becomes a life-altering, destiny-shifting event. These are the moments that enter the history books of the show, the valuations that leave the experts, the guests, and everyone watching at home utterly speechless. We're talking about the £1 Million Club. This exclusive club first opened its doors in 2008. The art world and television audiences alike held their collective breath when a maquette, a small preliminary model, of Antony Gormley's iconic Angel of the North, was placed before the experts. This wasn't just a sculpture. It was a piece of a modern national monument, a symbol of British identity. As the expert carefully examined the piece, you could feel the gravity of the moment. The valuation that followed was a thunderclap. £1 million. It was the first time in the show's illustrious history that an item had reached such a staggering seven-figure sum. A new benchmark had been set. A decade later, in 2018, lightning struck again. This time the treasure was impossibly delicate, a world away from the industrial might of Gormley's Angel. A magnificent Fabergé flower, a testament to the unparalleled craftsmanship of the Russian jeweler, was brought onto the show. It was a botanical wonder crafted from gold, diamonds, and enamel, so lifelike you almost expected to catch its scent. The story behind it, of how it came to be in the owner's possession, was just as captivating. The valuation came, and once again, the number echoed through the hall. £1 million. The show had proven, yet again, its uncanny ability to uncover treasures of unimaginable worth. But what if I told you that neither of these incredible finds holds the top spot? What if the highest valued item ever to grace the Antiques Roadshow was worth even more? The stage was set. The guest presenters were not your typical hopefuls with a car boot discovery, but sporting royalty. Broadcaster Gabby Logan stood alongside a true legend of the beautiful game. Leeds United's former manager and 1972 FA Cup winning star, Eddie Gray. And between them, gleaming under the lights, was the object of everyone's attention, a colossal silver trophy. This was no mere cup. Crafted in 1911, it was a masterpiece of the silversmith's art. An intricate pattern of plump grapes and twisting vines coiled around its magnificent body, a design that prompted silver expert David Dickinson to muse. It might have been used as a wine cooler or a champagne cooler. A knowing smile played on Gabby's lips. I'm sure it's had plenty of champagne inside over the years, she concurred, sharing a look with Eddie, a man who knew firsthand the celebratory bubbly that had filled it. The remark drew a hearty chuckle from the expert, who quipped back with a twinkle in his eye. More than you and I could possibly think of, I think. The friendly banter created a warm, relaxed atmosphere, but it couldn't mask the monumental importance of the item they were discussing. This was the legendary FA Cup trophy itself, the actual cup that had been lifted by generations of footballing heroes, the symbol of the oldest and most famous domestic football competition in the world. David Dickinson began to weave the tale of its history, its likely origins in Yorkshire, and the decades of sporting drama it had witnessed. He spoke of the blood, sweat, and tears shed to win it, the roars of the crowd, the champagne-soaked celebrations. This was so much more than silver. It was a vessel of dreams, a crucible of history, a national icon. Gabby Logan, listening intently, voiced the question that was on everyone's mind. With a history so rich, so deeply woven into the fabric of the nation's sporting soul, how could you even begin to assign